Hey guys, how's it going? Today we're going to be working on my 1970s, early 80s Yanmar 2210. I was trying to get this thing going the other day. That battery is dead and I hooked a jump box up to it and just kept trying and eventually smoke went up and I killed the battery. And also burned out the start wire right here. So we need to get this hood off and do some things. I don't have a lot of time here, but I've got some tools set out. We're gonna start by getting this hood off. If memory serves, I might need to pull my weights off, but we'll see about that. There's one. All right. This hood is kind of a pain to get off. All right. These little washers off. Oh yeah, the lights. I should have done that a second ago. Okay, that's this little harness here. There. All right. Off she comes. All right. Now we just need to get our battery box pulled off here. I've got some auxiliary stuff going on here. So this ground right here, I just need to unplug the two little wires. I've got some lights in the back that I have hooked up here. So, you know, I think for right now I'm just gonna cut my wire right here and redo it. It's not a big deal. That'll be the easiest thing. That guy right there. I don't know how you can see, but these aren't quick disconnects. I've got to physically unscrew it from my block up there. So that's disconnected. We need this guy out. This battery is, I think it's from 2015. So it's a 10-year-old battery. I'm just gonna put something cheap on it. But I want to get it out pretty much right off the jump, so I can go pick up a core for a new one. All right, there's my ground bus on the bottom. I have no idea if you can see well or not. Oh no, it's from 2018. There's the sticker right there. Don't know if you can see it, but it says ship something, January 2018, which is still a pretty good life for a battery. All right, and then our ground wire over here. Okay, I might disconnect that from the main thing. I also have this bonded here. So we're gonna undo the self-tapper. We'll get this whole assembly out and pull our battery off. All the electrical on this stuff I've done just kind of quick and dirty. Keep it going. All right. I think these are either 1/2 inch or 7/16. Let's start on this side. It's not quite as crunchy. I wish that I was filming stuff then. I was just in here not too long ago doing a water pump, alternator, and replacing all of the belts on this thing. All right, slide our ground cable off. All right, so that's got the negative just about disconnected. Oh wow, I really cranked that on there, didn't I? There we go. All right, we're just gonna bend that out of the way here. All right, now let's do the positive that has all sorts of goodness on it. That's rough. All right, and my 1/2 inch is somewhere. Here it is. It's a Rural King battery. All right. There. Okay. There's all that junk. Let's pull our air filter tube off. I think I had to force this last time. I need to come up with something different here. Maybe do a filter up top. I can't find a replacement for this hose, and it's in pretty sorry shape. See the duct tape. All right. I think we can zip the whole bracket out of here now. All right, there's that one. Let's see here. Wanted to come with me. Nylock nut is pretty cheeched as well. Oh, that sucks. Oh. Oh shoot, that nylock nut really isn't doing much, is it? We got pretty good weather the last few days, and more is rolling in. All right. All right, there's our battery. Oh God, I need to clean up. Okay. So here's our guy. I'm gonna get this out of here. Boom. All right, so I'm gonna run and grab a battery. It might be a day or two before I come back, especially if it starts raining again. But I've also got condensation or rad leak. I know this radiator leaks a little bit, but it doesn't overheat. I keep an eye on it pretty well. I don't know, I'll expect that, or inspect that at some point. I painted all this with the aluminum finish metal paint, I don't know what you call it, just so I could easily identify a leak. This is the factory rad. I figured, well, if I can save it, I might as well. But let's go get a battery. All right, we're back with the battery here. We got the finest Walmart has to offer. Thing was more expensive than I expected it to be, but it is a, you know, Group 65. But that should work. Before we plop that in there, we're gonna have to do stuff that I really don't want to do, and that is go through all of this split loom right here, because this wire melted last time I tried to start it. So I see bare copper exposed right there that's full of all sorts of green goodness. So I don't want to throw a battery on here just yet, especially not a hot one, until we do some troubleshooting. So let's just jump right in here. All right. So I ran this blue and gray wire. That's actually for the alternator. I have it set up on a momentary switch. You can see where all this stuff got hot. All right. Yeah, that's all in the split loom right here. So I might have to replace that. That's not that big of a deal. Where's my knife? Matter of fact, I think I put the split loom on here. Yeah, I did. That was me. And I taped all this up, I guess, this past summer. Let's see here. Wow, it got real hot. I wonder what it grounded on, or if it did ground. I'm not quite sure what caused this, but wow, it's pretty well gone. Somebody else did that before my time. It looks like they just kind of crudely wrapped the wires around each other. That sucks. We're just gonna cut it for right now. Wow, that's rough right there. That's probably what did it. This thing has changed hands, I'm sure several times. Oh, getting the phone call. All right, so I'm back, and I was doing some things off camera. I was on a work call a minute ago, but things are escalating. Don't know how you can see that, but right where my fingers are, there is a feed to the alternator that also appears to be melted after removing this piece of sheathing that I put there previously. So we need to get this cover off here. Oh yeah, I've got a nut on that one back there. It's a good thing these things are pretty simple to get to and work on. All right. Stuff going everywhere. Oh, I lost some hardware. Where's the lock nut? There's the lock nut. The lock nut monster. So that line right there is what got smoked. And I'm willing to bet that maybe the factory connection got kind of chooched and it grounded on the alternator itself. That's kind of what it appears to be, which is really a shame because we're gonna have to replace that entire wire now, and maybe some of these as well. This might be more involved than what I was really hoping for. got all this stuff taped together. Yeah, that was like a dead short right there. Because there's the line that we cut. We'll want to keep track of that. Oh man. I might be better off like trying to pull the gas tank. Because all these lines feed under here. What a bummer. No, it's like friction welded on there. That's cool. Take and try and wiggle it off of here. It's a brand new alternator too. All right, I guess I'm on the ground now. That's exactly what happened. Yeah, so this sheathing is... I should have replaced this right from the jump, but that's the factory crimp and factory wire situation that was originally on here. And this thing's been ran through the ringer a time or three. So I should have replaced that right from the jump, but I just didn't. But that's exactly what happened. So the power, the hot side, somehow, it might have gotten hot during starting and while I was cooking the battery to try and make it happy, it might have heated up that wire to the point where it could ground on the alternator body itself, because that is an isolated line there. God, this is... It's on there. I think it just broke free. No. There it goes. So don't know how far back this damage goes. So the feed in looks like it stops right there. And this set of wiring right here, because if I can put a splice in right in this area where the tape is and not worry about it, that would be so perfect and so ideal. But it looks like it was just some sort of like halfway done splice. I wonder if it was factory. Yeah, so it looks like that's exactly what this is there's a connector right here. And it just has a Y split. One side to the alternator, the other side to the starter. I don't know if that's really how it's supposed to be or not, but that's how it was. Okay. So what I think we're gonna do is cut this right here. Just a little bit behind. And try and recreate this. So I thought about it, and before I get too involved in recreating something, I want to verify this to be a confirmed fix. So I have this 20-foot set of cable here with 2 alligator clips on it. and we're just gonna see, you know. So we'll go on and strip this back here. If I can run the tractor on this temporarily, it's not a permanent fix, then I can go on and call this a confirmed situation. So, oh, why are my strippers not stripping? Have I got them backwards? Might have them backwards. I'm gonna need more than that eventually. I'm just gonna go on and take more than that. Not much, but some. There we go. Now that wire looks okay, so we need a feed. Okay, my snips. We need a feed going here and right here to the alternator. So I'm gonna cut this to keep that from shorting on something. And it should work. So I'm gonna take both my positive and negative and just clip it on this carefully. So whenever you plug the battery up, we know that's not gonna be an issue, and so far it kind of is. We'll go around the chainsaw. That's not touching anything that would ground it to the system. And I need one feed right there on the alternator and one feed right there on the starter. Set it in here. Cool, it fits. Now I like doing positive first and then the negative upside down. All right, let's do a burn down test. Seems all right. It's kind of loosely attached here. Let's feel this stuff and just see. Okay. So if it starts cranking, I'm gonna remove the tape we have over the intake. I bet it starts. I don't have my auxiliary stuff showed up. I've got a little voltage gauge right there. But I guess I could turn the key and hey, we've got our blinker back. And also that one. So I bet it starts. So, there she is. Yeah, so that's our whole problem. It's right there. So let's get rid of our power feed. Disconnect our battery. All right. Well, let's get a little bit closer here. All right. Okay. Cool.